We're jumping right in. It's day number 3 of the CEO Mind Shift. Isn't it exciting? Are you beginning to feel the jam of this? How it's changing you for the last 2 days? You've been working on your roadmap on how to create this kind of sustainability to claim your CEO-ness in the world, to walk into life making different decisions and choices strategically instead of always face down. Gosh, I'm so glad you're here. Drop me some love in the chat. Speaking of that, hey, I'd love to know if you had an aha from yesterday. As you began to work in your workbook, what came up for you? Did you have a question, something popping up, or whatever? I'll be monitoring the feed along the way and we'll see where we're at. Glad that you're here. Remember, by showing up live, you get to have the opportunity to have a drawing. We're actually going to do it tomorrow, right as we're done, so that you get some goodies and some freebies along the way. So those of you that are able to be with us live, thank you. Every time I see you in here, your name's going in a hopper, and I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. But so far, let's recap while you're thinking of your ahas, you're popping in some questions. We've done some work to cue into our feelings about where we might be feeling a little off, right? We've talked a bit about reorienting a schedule to help our priorities come to light, right? We've also shared about how to create joy in our everyday. So as those ahas are coming up from the last 2 days, be sure and put them in the chat along the way. Now, what are we doing today? Well, today we start synthesizing the data we've gathered the last 2 days. That's why that roadmap is really important, that you're giving attention there, so that you can commit to making the next 3 months sizzle and sparkle and come to life in a new way with your CEO mind shift. Notice I said 3 months. Right? When we start to do this work, we really want to keep it tight and clear and not so big and scary that we then stop. Right? We talked a little bit about that yesterday, right? You're like pulling the covers over the head, being an ostrich, all those kinds of things. No, we want to make this so that it feels doable. So we're just looking at the next 3 months. So speaking of that, when you look at the last several months and you think about, when you've been an employee versus of your own life, maybe versus that CEO that we've been talking about, what I usually find with clients is that the place to start taking action is with an intentional morning routine to make sure that you're living and working strategically that day. That's where it all tends to go off the rails. And it doesn't have to be complicated, mind you. You can jumpstart your day in 20 minutes or less, literally, in a way that just really hacks everything about it. So, right now, I just want you to think. You don't need to write this down anywhere, not even in the chat. Just for a second, think. How did I start my day today? I'm seeing some aha show up. Hi, Jen. Creating, proactive rather than reactive. Yeah, it's in all areas of our life, isn't it? So true, so true. Okay, so are you thinking? Thinking about how you started your morning off today? This is the key today. The practice that so many outstanding CEOs do every single day is they have a morning routine. So I asked you to think about your morning. Which one of these describes what happened to you? Were you rushing out the door in kind of a manic filled moment, maybe without considering your food, your water needs for the day? Or maybe if you work from home, you sighed and you moaned and you opened your screen and you were already late and already behind. If you're not working, you just rolled back over because you're like, there's no reason to actually get up today, right? It might be cold. Or that's one. Or did you arrive at your workspace ready to take on the day, excited about the relationships, the work, and the more? And when you looked at your daily to-dos and your calendar, you got so filled with joy. So if you're rushing, more times than not, I want you to put a 1. And if more times than not, you find yourself joyfully starting your day, put a 2. I'm curious to see what shows up in the comments. Whether you're watching live or catching this on replay, be sure and comment. Do you feel like you rush around, not as maybe proactive, to use the word Jen did, or prepared as you should, or more times than not, you're joyful, you're excited, you're ready, you don't feel so cluttered, you're not overwhelmed? Let me know. 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Here is what I know. I'm seeing some comments come through. Yeah, 2. Done a lot of work on this. That's good. That is so good. So good. Yes. Here's what I know. Getting your day off to a good start is the absolute best way to ensure you have a good day. Read that again on the screen. because this is one of the key aspects to a CEO lifestyle. Whether you realize it or not, you have a morning routine. It might not be defined, it might not be what you want, but you do have a morning routine. But my question to you right now is your morning routine as effective as it could be? This is one of the keys to having a CEO mindset. We want to enhance our day. We want to establish our day. We want to attack our day and not let it attack us, right? So we want to establish a morning routine that we consistently can do. And consistently is the important word here. We want it to be consistent enough that we can do it. Obviously, knowing that vacation or something happens, we had a late night. Okay, I get it. But consistently, can you live into established morning routine, whether you're working or not, whether you work from home or an office, whether you have a commute or you walk? We need to have a morning routine. Our brain shows up better when it knows what to do. So there are a few key components to a morning routine that scientists are finding the most successful CEOs have. So why aren't we doing them, right? Let's talk through them for a second. Grab your pen. You're going to want to jot some of these down. The first one is, I kid you not, and I know I'm going to get some groans right here, but it's to wake up early. Wake up early. What does that mean for you? I don't know. But waking up early provides a sense of control. Okay. Over and over, brain theory says that when you wake up early, your brain shows up and you have a little more control in your day because you don't have such anxiety because you're not always trying to catch up, right? That anxiety that occurs when time's an issue, right? So if you can't do that, and I don't know what early is for you, maybe it's 5 a.m., maybe it's 10 a.m. because you stay up really late. I'm not saying what time, but maybe waking up earlier than you have been will help you enhance your day. So maybe you need to go to bed earlier if necessary. We talked a little bit about this the last couple of days. Giving yourself an extra 20 minutes. That's it. That's all I'm talking about. 20 minutes in the morning will make your pre-work time leisurely, pleasant, and your brain will show up for you. Now, if this seems really hard, I have a hack. You want to try to wake up 5 minutes earlier each day for the next 6 days. It's just 5 minutes. So if you've been getting up at 7 and you're still a little frantic to get out the door, try 6:55 tomorrow, 6:50 the day before that. Do you see what I'm saying here? And then by 6 days, you're waking up 30 minutes earlier than you were. And then you got an extra 10 minutes to play with. Okay. So that's the hack number one that scientists are finding that help people really take charge of their day as a CEO. The second one is meditation, prayer, breathing, right? Whatever that looks like for you for a few minutes. Now, think about it this way. The typical 9-minute snooze when you do this, right? It's an appropriate amount of time for a short meditation, prayer, or breathing session, right? So when you hit the snooze, that's your key. Get up, maybe sit on the edge of your bed, get into a chair, and instead breathe. Pay attention to your breath. Think of all the gratitude you have in your life. Maybe I call it sending confetti, send confetti through the universe to someone else. And as your mind wanders, just simply bring it back to your breath. You will be surprised on how calm this will make your morning. 9 minutes, right? Are you keeping track of this 20 minutes I'm giving you? Okay. The third hack that they're finding is to have a large glass of water. That is 12 ounces or more. Now, why is that? Did you know that every single person is dehydrated after 7+ hours of sleeping? Because your body's been working really hard. Your brain needs water to work, much less every other organ in your body. So allowing yourself to have a large glass of water before doing anything else, that means coffee, that means tea. Before doing anything else, a large glass of water will help you. And in fact, did you know that when you're feeling sluggish throughout the day, a glass of water can frequently help? I mean, oxygen's the best, like get up and move. But if you can't do that, a glass of water. So that's why we want to keep a water at our desk at all times. But it's one of the things that you should be doing in your morning routine. Okay, let's go to the fourth one, which is 5 minutes of exercise. Just 5, right? 5 minutes. It might not seem like much, but it's actually enough time to get your heart pumping and become more alert. So maybe you want to walk up and down the stairs a few times. Maybe you want to march in place. Remember, you've already done your meditation, right? You've already woken up early. You've done your meditation. You've had a glass of water. Now you're going to do something for 5 minutes. If you have a treadmill, use it. Maybe you just want to move and warm your body. That's all you're trying to do. You're not trying to do anything big and bold, right? Big stretches with arm circles. A couple of squats, toe touches, they make a huge, huge difference. Okay. And then we want to recite affirmations. So I like to do this in the shower. In fact, I should have put a picture up. There's actually a company now that has shower affirmations. You take one out of the packet and you shake it. You put it to a wet shower wall, and it will gradually disintegrate. And as you're showering, you can recite the affirmation to yourself. I love this, right? Why didn't I think of this idea? But while you're in the shower, you want to recite affirmations to yourself. And it can be anything, entirely up to you, but I suggest you use some that enhance your mood, that support your goals. So it could be that you're setting an intention of having a great day. So you say, I'm having a great day, and you say it in the shower, or I'm fabulous, or I enjoy my life, right? Or I'm ready to tackle work with enthusiasm today, right? Whatever it is, you're in the shower anyway. So instead of worrying about work, why don't you use the time to make yourself feel better, right? Another hack is to eat a healthy breakfast. We've heard this a lot. I'm not going to harp on this too much, but what that does is it keeps your energy up and it fuels your day. So often a healthy morning meal, dietitians tell us, leads to a healthier lunch. So when you have a crap breakfast, you usually have a crap lunch, and then you crash in the afternoon, right? So what we want to do is we want to try different types of breakfast foods and determine which works the best for you with your time frame. And then you want to pre-plan for it the night before. So you don't give yourself an excuse for the drive-through, or what I call the no-through, which is you just forget, right? Because you don't have time. And it could be like my breakfast. Sometimes my go-to breakfast are some nuts, some cheese, and a glass of water usually, and maybe like a piece of turkey meat. Okay. It doesn't have to be breakfast. Do what you can with what you can when you can. Okay. Then another hack that CEOs use is they review the tasks that they need to complete for the day for 10 minutes. Meaning, so let's say you commute for your drive, or you work from home the first 10 minutes, maybe you're volunteering that day, you set aside 10 minutes, right? And you check your list, right? And you look at your list, look at your appointments, think about, have I allowed enough time for everything, including commute? Is the weather bad? So now it's going to take longer to do things. Consider what might need to get moved around. Mentally review those tasks. Consider the most effective strategy to get responsibilities accomplished and even errands, and reform things as you need to. You can do that in 10 minutes. We haven't even used all of our 20 minutes yet. Okay. So what we want to do is we also want to listen to something that makes us feel good. So that could be creating a playlist, finding a channel that inspires and energizes is the key. This is not the time for your spa downtime music, okay? There's a time for that. These are tunes that help you take on the world, right? So what theme, what song by your favorite band, what sweeping movie theme, like get you moving, right? In fact, I'd love to know, what is one song that always gets you jamming, always makes you shake your tail feather? Let's put it in the chat right now. What is one song? What's one song that does that for you? I love Jesse's Girl, right? I love Hit Me With Your Best Shot from Pat Benatar. I'm an 80s fan, obviously. I love me some Kelly Clarkson, a lot of Taylor Swift, right? So think about what those might be and put them in the chat. I'd love that. Now, if you noticed, these little hacks I just gave you, most of that morning routine, it doesn't add any time at all to your day. It's a matter of using the dead time that you're probably wasting. So with 20 minutes, you can enhance the morning. And when you enhance the morning, you enhance the rest of your day. So I'd love to know, which of these hacks that I just talked about do you already do? If you're thinking of your theme song, great. Now I want to know, which one of these do you already do? What do you already do? Do you already get up early? Do you meditate? Do you have a large glass of water? Do you get 5 minutes of exercise? Do you recite affirmations in the shower? Are you about the healthy breakfast? Are you about the 10-minute review before you jump in? Do you listen to something that makes you feel good? What do you already do? Let us know. Let the community know. Okay, I'm going to take a moment and check the comments here. Jen, you're hilarious. You prolonged things. That's okay. Okay, thanks for the hack. Walking on sunshine. Hey, Pam, glad you're here. That's a great get up and move. Don't Stop Believing, Judy. It's one of my favorite songs ever. Yeah, that's a great song to get moving to. Love these suggestions. Hope everyone's paying attention and maybe add to that. Pam, you already do meditation and prayer. Love that. It's a great part of centering your morning effectively. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, keep popping in those things that you already do, because we want to acknowledge where we are and what we need to add, right? Now, there's other aspect to this work, kind of setting yourself up for success in a day, is to capitalize on your strengths and then to give away or find ways to minimize those areas outside of your genius zone. So when you routinely consider when things have gone well and knowing why, it's absolutely crucial. Absolutely crucial. Okay, do I need to say that again? You need to really be thinking, what's gone well and why did it go well? It's crucial. Here's why. Think about it this way. When things were going amazingly well, did you note that and note things like, what was I doing? Who was I spending time with? How was I being held accountable? What vision was I holding for myself? What impact did my decisions make, not only on me, but those I love and the circle that I serve in? Those are just some of the questions that we want to ask. It's not, hey, that went great. You want to dive deeper into that. And then you translate your answers into a pattern or a system that you can easily replicate for your next dream, your next vision, your next project. That's what helps you stay in the CEO mindset. So once you started your morning off correctly, you want to then be spending that time in the ways that you already know you are successful. Remember, we talked about the CEOs are visionaries. Odds are, I would bet you created your work life in the way that it is, your volunteer life, your life, because you had a big, audacious goal or dream. You had a vision. You wanted to create a lifestyle that allowed you to do something magical in the world. The problem is that sometimes you begin to bring that vision into reality, and then you realize it's not as easy as you might have imagined. Maybe your own fears or limiting beliefs get in the way. We talked about limiting beliefs on day one. Tomorrow, we're talking about fears. We're going to, bookend our time together doing that. And they absolutely get in the way of bringing your own vision to life. So the key is to find solution to these problems that you encounter instead of letting your emotions and your self-doubt get in the way. That's why we want to start our day with power, right? And then we want to know when things go right, why, and try to create space to keep working in that part of our lives. When you don't know how to do something, you just reach out. Like, don't get frustrated, but maybe a business friend, maybe ask questions, ask for a referral to an expert that can help you. Say, hey, I'm stuck. Can I help some way? Like, please, I need help. Remember, if you haven't started your day, that's when this gets harder to do because you're just in anxiety mode. You're in hamster wheel mode. You're just next thing. So when you're not thinking about the way to hack your own success, you just fall into old patterns again. Remember, when you are living into a CEO mindset, you're the visionary. You're not necessarily the problem solver. You might be, but you need to be visionary. The CEO should know how to reach out and find experts, but not always bog themselves down with the nitty-gritty of solving the individual problems. That's why we're always aiming to develop a team with capable people around us. That's not just in a work world of team members and contractors. This is like a circle to support you that can trust, right? That trust factor is huge. And together you see possibilities and you solve problems. And that allows you to keep thinking ahead and developing action steps and be strategically thinking about the next thing for your life and your business. And if you don't get out of your own way and let the small problems get you down, you just end up in lots of hot water. That's probably why you're here checking this out. For instance, as a CEO, you just can't do things like follow the latest marketing strategy just because everybody else is doing it, right? You can really fall into traps super easily. If let's say one of your fears is going against the grain, then you want to follow someone else's strategy and it might work short term, but odds are it's not going to feel great to execute if it's not aligned with what you know intuitively is best for your business and your lifestyle and what you're trying to create. So when you're not living strategically constantly, it's so easy to get squishy and get off your roadmap, right? So how do you avoid something like this? How can you ensure that you're able to bring your vision to life? Well, I give my clients permission to go back to the basics, which really and truly is what I just laid out for you. Let's start with establishing a morning routine. We want to start without anxiety. We want to start with power. We want to start with, I'm walking into my day feeling alive. And then once we're in that space, one of my favorite questions to ask, and I have several clients on watching this, is what if it was easy? And then step back. We love to overcomplicate and create anew when sometimes we just need to have it be basic. Sometimes somebody else has already done it and really we just need to pick up the phone and ask them, hey, how'd you do this? Can you walk me through? And 5 minutes later, it's done instead of an hour of watching YouTube and then 3 hours figuring out how to do it for ourselves. This works in all aspects of your life. Strategy doesn't have to be difficult or complicated. You start off with what you know, And then you venture off to a new platform if you feel inclined, sure. But if you aren't setting up your day to allow your brain to live in that space of possibility and power, then all you will ever be is a firefighter. All you're going to do every day, all day, is put out the urgent fires that keep popping up. That's from work to life. And remember, you will act on what you believe. So if you believe your role is to be a firefighter, if you believe that your role is to constantly be about those interruptions and let's get off the track and let's get off the track and let's get off the track and oh, it's got to be me, it's got to be me. And oh my gosh, and now this and now this, and now I'm just going to throw everything I was going to do out the fire. If that's who you are and that's what you really believe about yourself, then you're right. Urgency is going to follow you. And you will just act in that space because that's what you're telling your brain that's how I need you to show up, is in this frantic space all the time. So let me ask you a question. What belief about you are you allowing to be the biggest voice about your dream achievement? And do you want this belief to keep growing? Or does it need to die a glorious death so you can claim your CEO-ness? It's a hard question, but we need an answer. What belief about you are you allowing to be the biggest voice about your dream achievement? This morning routine, it will help you. This process will help you, but you have to be willing to create it and stick to it. And honestly, friend, it's just one piece of the puzzle. You will want to make sure you're being accountable for your mindset. And the very best way to do that is to create a supportive circle. I call them my Sparkle Squad. You hear me talk about them all the time if you follow me. These are the people that will be supportive of your efforts, who will be your cheerleaders when you reach a milestone, who are willing to share the strategies of what worked for them to reach their goals or to conquer their fears. And they're not like, and now pay me, $1 million to do so. These are the people who are go-getters, who've already conquered some of the things that you're trying to do, who will serve as mentors for you. And honestly, will also kick your butt, right? When you're falling off, these are the people who be like, hey, do you remember that dream you said you were going to work on? How's that going? Have you noticed over the years that the people who surround you often affect your decisions and your motivation? I want you to think about it. Do you have a family member or a spouse who is not supportive, maybe of your big dream that you're trying to do in the world? It happens. How does that make you feel? Are you still as driven as you could be to make those dreams a reality if you're not feeling 100% supported? So when you add in a group or a peer group of other like-minded CEOs, let's say, a group of successful people who are steps above where you want to be or who are in the trenches with you doing it together, it inspires you to take more action steps. They help you figure out your next steps. And with this type of leadership, you begin to feel motivated to accomplish your goals, your big extraordinary dreams, from your life to your business. And it shows those naysayers that you're capable of those accomplishments, and the fear gets easier to handle. And when a setback happens, it's easier to deal with. And that energy with that group is so contagious that you just want to keep surrounding yourself with those who strive on a similar success path. That's the way this energy works. It's amazing. And over time, you'll notice you're able to do this more quickly and easily, and you get to take those right next actions faster and faster because you have a supportive group around you. You've established your morning routine. You understand the power of joy that we talked about yesterday, and your mindset is where it needs to be in CEO land, not employee land. And that also means you're going to start to see the results that you want to see in your business and your life, whether that's a superstar team or a higher bank balance or a new product or service launch or whatever it is, faster too. And every single step above will help you cultivate a steady CEO mindset. Every single step we've talked about. And it's going to allow you to continue to expand to your next level and to deal with whatever fears come up so that you can keep building your business and your life the way that you want to. So what is that costing you to not be in that space right now? It might seem luxurious to have time to meet with a group or to pay for this kind of experience, or hey, to even have 20 minutes in the morning to yourself. But what is it really and truly costing you? For example, it could be inner peace, could be self-respect, time, energy, money. How are you losing out on your dream by not eliminating the things that need to get eliminated and take on the actions that need to take on? Remember, action diminishes fear. So sometimes you must confront the belief. You must be about the joy, setting yourself up for success, and then blasting your way through it step by step So you can get into this realm of what we're talking about today, that possibility, telling your brain to show up for you, and then your brain will. And what could be possible? What could be possible if you stepped into this kind of CEO mindset work and decided that 2023 is where you are going to put new energy and goals and work towards a different you? Could, can you see that? Can you begin to see that? What if you knew how to accomplish great things with greater ease and banish those fears as they pop up? And how to allow yourself to rest, really deeply rest, and still be successful and rested along the way and collaborate and build a stronger friendship and then get support and learn how to receive from all these people and these resources and these networks that you've built so that your success and your extraordinary dreams continue to rise. How would that feel to you? Because that is the CEO lifestyle, friend. So have you already considered, it's November, we're coming up on Thanksgiving. Have you already considered what 3 things you do want to focus on in the year ahead? Have you thought about how to imagine a different future starting right now for yourself? I really want us to get into the zone of possibility, of imagining, of discovering what could really work for us if we just lay aside that crummy employee mindset and our cram schedules and our anxious mornings and our yucky, not joyful days and begin to emerge from that manic circus that we've created for ourselves. Thinking of those 3 things that you want to focus on, what could change this year before the end of the year and set you up next year that would help you break through to a more sustainable level of life and business? What people might come your way? What could your life look like on the daily? What barriers might fall away? What new opportunities could you have? How would you feel? Can you settle into that just for a minute with me? Can you see how this work stacks and emerges together? It just crackles, doesn't it? Now, let me share something that I begin to see when you begin to notice this different way of being. It's part of that fear work we're going to do tomorrow. But a big roadblock pops up that's not fear, but it leads to fear. And the biggest roadblock that I see to claiming this kind of future, it's actually you. We hold ourselves back. We talk ourselves out of things. We tell ourselves lies. We say we don't have enough time or resources. We allow the old self and the employee mindset to have the final say on a life we say that we want in this CEO way, but then we really don't because we become the problem and we don't want to be the solution. And the solution is to counterbalance these hiccups that pop up with strategy and support and programming and implementation to keep you on track. So let's talk about how to do that for just a minute. We've got 3 more minutes. Stay with me. I want to invite you into a life and business in full alignment in a CEO way, to this possibility that you've just imagined that lets that spark ignite, fully fly, and it leads you to your very own sparkle factor. And it's what I call the Spark Elite program. And I've changed it up for 2023. And some people on here have already jumped in, and I'm so grateful. I know they're excited. I'm excited too. You know, dreams, they have a buoyant life of their own, but they also need us to participate. And when we start living out of possibilities, we fully participate in that magic instead of that mock, right? It feels scary, uncomfortable. Sometimes it's boring or even off-putting, and we kind of feel alone. You with me here? And so you've seen business building and goal-getting programs that work on systems. Love that, right? They work on that internal matrix of yourself. Get it? Awesome. And you've also seen personal development programs that really help you do this or that personally, right? A lot of work up here, but they never address the how. So you do all this work, but then you don't know what to do. Or all you do is create a checklist and then your mind's not right. So you don't know what to do. So what I did is I created Spark. It's all of these things in one holistic mojo making program. And inside, what we do is we help you achieve your highest goals alongside joy, rest, and recovery and friendship. It's 6 months long. It's a program that highlights the 4 markers that you need for the journey, and they work together to help you become an uncommon and marvelous mojo maker in the world. And it's for everyone. Doesn't matter what your business is or even if you're in business, right? Because it really helps you attain and ignite the fired up dream and vision inside of you. So if you think about it, what is that worth to you? Is that worth your health and your time? What about your energy or your dream, your relationships, how you sizzle in the world? What is that worth? I'm seeing too many of us wither. So I've decided to open up several more spots in my program. I had it closed. It sold out a month ago at Verve, but I've opened up a few more spots because some of you have been asking. So what it is, real quick, it's 6 months of support in the form of group coaching and a 1-to-1 monthly coaching call. It's $3,000. Hang on. Because you've been here and you're obviously committed to shifting the landscape for 2023, I want to invite you in to get access to Spark Elite for $2,200 instead of $3K. And if you do so, I'm going to throw in a half-day lightning session with me. It's 3 hours of customized strategy for your personal plan of action. Okay, that alone is $3,000 if you bought that from me, right? So that makes this package worth about $6,000. But for those of you that are jamming along with the content, it's going to be $2,200. That's it. And that's a savings of over what, $3,500 for this package. And yeah, there's convenient payment plans. We can talk about that when you say yes. Okay. Again, I have 8 spots open. So when they're gone, they're gone. So let's talk and make sure that this timing is right for you. Again, there are several people. Colleen is here. She's the founding director of an organization. She's coming through Spark again because it was so helpful last time. She's ready for more. So I'm going to send you an email with your workbook link for today. And inside is the invitation. Let's just grab a quick phone call. Okay. 15 minutes. Let's make sure, let's talk it through. If you've got questions, make sure the timing is right and how it can help you specifically. So click the link. Again, that's going to close as soon as the 8 spots are filled. Okay, lots of questions, lots of comments. I went a little bit long. Let me set up tomorrow, and then I'm going to jump into the comments in case you've got a question. Stay on with me. Remember, today's work is all about seeing possibilities, right? Creating a morning routine. So your workbook's going to help you do that. Tomorrow's our final day, and it's the day to talk about fear busting with literally actionable strategies for when fear raises its ugly head. So I want you to be sure and be on live if you can, because at the end tomorrow, we're going to have a drawing for some goodies. Okay. So if you're live with us tomorrow, you get one more chance to be in the hopper. So, hey, you know what? Your CEO mindset is just around the corner. And I'm so glad that you've been with me here today. Okay. Let's check some of these comments. And if you've got a question, pop it in because there's so many. I'm not sure I'm going to get to all of them. And click off when you need to. You plan food, but do that the night before. Yeah. What if it were easy? Right? What if it were easy? You should ask yourself that every day. Every single day. Oh yeah, Lori, am I calling you out a little bit? Yeah, we got to do that. Yes, Lori, thank you. Lori can vouch for the Spark program. She's been in there. Jen, Colleen. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize all of you were here. Great. Yes. Yeah, Jen, half-day session is literally, a half-day session with me is more than the price of the entire Spark Elite program that I just pitched to you. Yeah. But we need this, right? We need to be building community. We need to be helping each other. So we've got to do this. We have to do this work. So give me 6 months and let's see where you can be. Remember today, this, what will change this year and next year if you can break through to a more sustainable level of life and business? That's the CEO mindset. Okay, friends, I'm Suzanne Castle. This is the CEO Mind Shift. We have one more day and I will see you same time, same place tomorrow. Be sure and download your workbook. It's coming in a link in about 1 minute. So stay tuned. Check your email. See you tomorrow.